Toe Morning Show.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to Rumble Friday on the Steel Toe Morning Show. I'm Aaron, that's April.
Good morning.
Oh, it's gonna be a show. I can guarantee that. It's been a successful week so far. Listenership has been down just a little bit. That sucks ass, but hit all the goals this week. We're gonna hopefully throw at least the 250 to our buddy Redbeard's family. And then depending on how much we go over today, we'll determine how much extra we throw in there. We did say we would give half of whatever we go over this week to the Redbeard GoFundMe. That is happening right after today's show is over, and we determine just how much we go over. Right now, we are at 80. We have gone over 160 in total on these different days. And now we are 80 of that goes to him. 80 of that has been put into other morning shows. So thank you guys very, very much. Today, what we're doing is we are giving everything we go over to Redbeard because it's the end of the week. So if we go over, that just means we went over. It's done. It's finished. We got what we needed. Everything that we go over today is going to Redbeard and his family on that GoFundMe. Balls deep, if you want to put the GoFundMe link up there one more time, please do. For Redbeard, who passed away, left behind a 15-year-old son. We're gonna do some helping at the end of the show today. So get your contributions in. Over on Rumble, I know it's difficult when it comes to like the links and everything. If you're watching on an Android, you can either use the browser version, or we did put the links to PayPal, Streamlabs, and Venmo in the description of the video.
Cool.
So you can use that as well. So all kinds of different ways to contribute. I got some people last week telling me, oh, it's hard on Rumble. It's difficult. I use an Android, and there's no way for me to click the links that you put in. They said if you put them in the description, it's easier. Okay. Otherwise, there's Rumble Rants. There's subscribing to the channel. There's all that stuff. Balls Deep kicking us off today with gifting 5 memberships over on YouTube. We'll be on YouTube for a half hour to start the show, and then it is Rumble exclusive. We haven't eclipsed 1,000 in the last 2 weeks.
Uh-oh.
That's a problem. We got to fix that today, so make sure you're hitting like. Make sure you're hitting follow on Rumble. Make sure you're doing all of the things that populate the algorithm or whatever the shit you say, and we can get our big audiences back. Because we've been doing some great shows. Balls Deep with 5 memberships. Andrew Zodiac, Some Idiot, T. Jefferson, Alex Nerio, and Patrick all getting memberships over on YouTube. So that means we are going to start today at 305. All right, that's a decent number.
We can do that.
305. You guys have got that. Thank you very, very much. Okay, off we go. Let's talk about this first. The goddamn piece of shit Minnesota Vikings. Okay, look. The Vikings have played like absolute horseshit, the worst I've seen in a long time, and still are somehow losing one-score games. In it until the very end last night. Onside kick, the whole thing. One thing's for sure, I don't hear a lot of chirping about Kirk Cousins anymore.
No, he's great.
Seeing as he's carrying the entire team on his goddamn back. And by the way, the defense, even though they gave up a couple of big plays last night, I thought they played pretty well, seeing as it was against the Eagles. They can't help it that the offense left them, in the red zone twice. But it was just 4 turnovers in the first half, and it's just not worth watching when they do that. I'm not the kind of person who's like, football no matter what. Football no matter what. If I'm not having fun, I ain't fucking watching. I'm not going to ruin my day and get pissed watching a goddamn game. So clean it up. That's all. Clean it the fuck up.
The dropped balls are inexcusable at this point. I don't know what happened the last couple games.
Drop balls, fumbles is always shit. Jack the Tripper says, no, Justin Jefferson is great. Justin Jefferson cost us 10 points last night. In a 6-point game, Justin Jefferson cost us 6 points. So, I'm sorry, 10 points. The touchdown, and then because of that fumble in the end zone, they come up and kick the field goal.
Right. I'm a huge Justin Jefferson fan. That was unexcusable.
Costing us 10 points.
Not good.
While Kirk just sat there and said, you know what? Since I can't rely on anyone else, I'll just put this whole goddamn thing on my back. And they almost did it. So
can you imagine if they hadn't dropped the balls they did?
If
it would have been a completely different game.
If Robert E. Lee had been 10 minutes earlier, slavery would still be legal, I don't know what to tell you. No, it was a very frustrating game to watch. And now we're 0-2, and now you have to beat either you have to beat the Chargers. Here's the problem if you're the Vikings. If you don't beat the Chargers, then you're probably going to have to beat either the Chiefs or the 49ers, then probably win every game in your division. Once you start 0-2, the path to the playoffs is really murky. It's very few 0-2 teams make the playoffs. And now the problem the Vikings have is they have a very tough schedule. And maybe it's time to just consider the fact that team last year got very lucky a lot, and that now they used the term on TV last night, regressing to the mean. That maybe, look, you can't win one-score games all the time and be a really good team. You got to kick the shit out of some people, and we are incapable of kicking the shit out of anyone. And if you're incapable of kicking the shit out of anyone, you leave yourself open to lose to Tampa. So we get 10 days. I'm done. Honestly, I'm done with this GM if we don't address the fucking offensive line this week. You got 10 days. If Dalton Reisner is not on this team come next week, it's inexcusable.
What'd you call the O-line last night? Paper mache?
Paper mache.
That's the correct way to put it.
They're tearing through it. Fuck extending Kirk Cousins. He might not be alive by the end of the year.
That's my concern. And they were talking about that after the game is at his age, how much he goes through per game is dangerous.
Do you guys know how old he is? I'll tell you how old Kirk Cousins is. He's 1 year younger than me. Hey, wait a minute.
Whoa.
What the shit?
You need to accomplish more.
This isn't okay. I need to start throwing for more yards.
Yeah, you really do.
That's for sure.
You need to move that pocket around.
Oh, yeah, no shit. Yeah, the only way Kirk Cousins can have time to throw is if we run plays where he literally
he completely leaves.
To create time for Kirk, he has to run away from his offensive line.
Yep.
He's the only quarterback I know who has to do that. It's like, all right, we need time to throw. Usually if you need time to throw, you go, I'll sit in the pocket behind my 300-pound dudes and they'll block for me. No, with Kirk Cousins, it's, hey, in order for us to have any success, he has to run away from the people who protect him.
Protect him.
Yes. It was a frustrating game to watch. Frustrating to watch. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, if you make him stay in the pocket, he's shaky, man. That's not going to be that's the thing with these running quarterbacks. These running quarterbacks all have the same problem. And that is that in a year or two, the league figures them out and then frustrates them, and then they're not as good anymore. Like you look at Lamar Jackson.
Ooh.
Lamar Jackson, since 2019, has been going like this.
Right, he started on fire.
Yeah,
okay,
now he's kind of gone to the middle. Jalen Hurts, his first 2 games this year, has looked, got a great arm. Don't get me wrong, but his decision-making when he can't run is, he gets flustered in there.
His little miniature running back is fucking dynamite, though. Swift.
No, you know
Yes,
what?
he is.
We got so obsessed with stopping Jalen Hurts that we let DeAndre Swift run all over the field. I will promise you, there's a reason he was their 3rd running back coming into the season. He is not that good. We have a terrible run defense because we were dropping everybody back into coverage last night. And if you drop everybody back into coverage, there's nobody to stop the run. Basically, what we did was we said, we're going to contain Jalen Hurts. You're going to have to beat us with the run. And you know what they did? They beat us with the run.
Yeah, they really did, though. I think Swift had over 125 running yards to himself.
And he probably won't do that ever again this year, which is says a lot about the strategy we brought into yesterday's game. Annoyed Wawa Supervisor says, for real, though, that one drive where y'all just couldn't do anything against DeAndre Swift for 12 plays was embarrassing. Yeah, no shit. What happened was we had figured out a defensive scheme that stopped Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
The problem is that scheme involved nobody go to the quarterback. We'll rush 3 or 4 guys. That's it. If you run against that, there's plenty of holes there for you to run through.
A very interesting drive the Eagles had, though. You were in the basement once. They had a 15-play, 9-minute drive where they didn't score points. They were out there for like a long time and didn't score any points. That was a weird one.
Jack the Tripper says Swift will have over 1,000 rushing yards this year. First of all, 1,000 rushing yards is not that impressive anymore. That's like 60 or 70 yards a game. That's not awesome. So he might. 1,000 yards is kind of mediocre. He's a mediocre running back. I'll give you that. Packerbacker says QBs like Jackson, Hurt, and others are only dangerous passing because defenses have to account for their scrambling. They can't beat you with accuracy. Right. Exactly. Thank you guys very much. Starting things off today, Sean Raz with $10 over on PayPal. Thank you very much. He did it twice. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, wow.
Appreciate that. So that's 20 off for today. So you guys are already inside of 300, off to a fun start today. What's 20 from that's 285 away from today's goal. Thank you guys very, very much. It is Rumble Friday, and that means that we are going to go Rumble exclusive. If you're on YouTube right now, we're going to go Rumble exclusive in about 20 minutes. Sean Raz, we will play your shit. Is it cool or is it Rumble only? Now, you can't send those to PayPal because they don't copy paste right, so you're going to have to put it in one of the chats, my man, because, when we go to, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
For some reason, PayPal doesn't do links right. So, Sean Raz, throw that in the chat, and we'll get that. Orc King says, Aaron has never watched the Lions if you think Swift is mid. I think he's mid. I think a lot of running backs are mid. I don't think DeAndre Swift is an elite running back. I'm definitely willing to die on that hill. Not an elite running back. Orc King says, Aaron has never watched the Lion. Oh, I'm sorry. I just read that one. Kyle King says that rule that you fumble the ball trying to stretch out at the goal line and it goes out, then it's a touchback is fucking stupid. Eagles get the ball without having possession. I like that rule, actually. It's accurate. Like, what are you supposed to do if a guy fumbles out of the end zone? It can't be a touchdown. You fumbled.
Yeah.
You have to give it to the other team at the 20. You can't back it up to the 1 yard line because that's like rewarding a guy for fumbling.
I don't know. Why not just he as long as nobody else recovered the ball, he fumbled at this spot and you spot it right there.
But he fumbled out of the end zone. You can't spot it in the end zone. That's a touchdown.
I don't know.
You got to give it to the other
I guess
team.
then I would be riding on the 1 line mark or the 1 yard line.
Well, then, okay.
That's me.
Then let me play devil's advocate. What's to stop a guy from being at the 6 and just chucking it out of bounds in the end zone?
I think you can tell if somebody chucked it versus fumbles a ball.
Now, see, that's why they have the rule the way it is.
That's pretty obvious.
Like, if I'm going out at the 6 and I can just go, I just fumble it like that. Well, what? I fumbled. I dropped it. What am I supposed to do? No, I like that rule. It punishes a guy for being a fucking idiot like Justin Jefferson was last night. There's no reason. Like, if that's on third down, I get trying to reach out. But when you've got a first down and you're going to have it first and goal at the 1, fucking make sure the ball's taken care of. That's everybody. That punt returner, too, last night. It's like, guys are coming. Get that second hand on the wrist like this and protect the football. Here, you know what? If I'm in practice this week, I go, everybody watch TJ Hawkinson. There you go. Just watch him.
We got to focus on holding on to that ball for fucking sure, because last night would have been a completely different outcome, in my opinion.
Matt Melt with $4.99 says, yay, restart Rumble every 5 minutes Friday. Can't wait. It's not going to be that way. We fixed that. That was not Rumble's fault the last couple days. That was ours. We got that all fixed up. Don't you worry about it. Everything's good. We're all set. Rumble Friday is set to be wunderbar. I didn't realize I was this mad about the Vikings game.
Yeah, the Eagles looked great last night, I think.
They
were absolute monsters, and I think Swift is a great running back.
Actually, I was
impressed watching him.
I'm going to disagree. I don't think the Eagles looked great last night. I think the Eagles looked incredibly beatable last night. In fact, they looked very beatable against New England.
If we could have stepped anything up, yes. But we were absolute trash. I hope last night was a night of really painful lessons learned, and a lot of screaming is going to be done at them this week in practice. I hope.
If you lose, or if you win by 6 points when the other team turned the ball over 4 times, that's not great. If the other team turns it, that's like Tampa Bay isn't great either. If you win by 6 points when the other team turned it over 4 times, twice in your territory, yeah, you got some work to do. I mean, the Eagles are not the Eagles from last year. They're good, but they're not great.
Okay, well, we're not charmed like last year either.
Well, I mean, 4 turnovers, that'll de-charm you pretty goddamn quick. That's for sure. Greg Garius says, focusing on ball possession is kind of important. Uniform colors are paramount. Well, yeah, of course. Chevy fan says, Mersch and Royce want to give up on Rumble. Why?
Whoa.
I mean, they're working on shit. They're getting there. Rumble Friday seems okay for us. I know they have to depend their whole livelihood on it, and I understand money's tougher to get on Rumble. It's the advertising revenue is better on Rumble. I will say that.
Well, and they signed the whole thing with them, didn't they?
Yeah, and in terms of people contributing to your show, I guess it can be a little tougher for Android people. But I believe this. I believe they're going to get that fixed. And also I believe they continue to work on the things that are bad. They don't just let them sit there and fester. And also I think that I think they're having their bigger, each quarter is their biggest revenue quarter they've ever had. So the company is growing. I like Rumble. I think it's got a good shot. I think especially as we head towards 2024 and the election, I think Rumble's going to be bigger and bigger. Fuck, I didn't realize how mad I was at the Vikings till I started ranting at them. At least the tickets for Sunday, the Sunday after this Sunday will be cheap.
Yeah, they should go down after that, you'd think.
Nobody's going to want to go watch that fucking team.
Plus the Chargers, too. How are the Chargers doing? Probably not.
They're 0-1, but they're good. You got to look out for them. They can beat us. That's for sure.
Yeah, Gino will come to see us and we'll watch with him and they'll just destroy us. Watch.
Yeah. Sean, excuse me, Packerbacker says the fumble rule is 100% accurate. It is what it is. Ball security. Don't fumble next time. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to change that end zone fumble rule. Here's how you know the end zone fumble rule is a good rule. You don't care about it until it happens to your team.
Well, then last night shouldn't have happened. It was the whole play was pretty up until that point, right?
Yeah.
It was a give me touchdown. Basically.
I've got it. I figured it out. Have Kirk Cousins throw the ball to Kirk Cousins, and then Kirk Cousins can catch the football and he can run the ball in. And then have Kirk Cousins block for Kirk Cousins.
He's not that good.
Can we create a 330-pound Kirk Cousins and then make him our center? Hobo Chili Recipe with $5 says, good morning, you two. Happy kids. What happened last night with your beloved Vikings? Sorry, I was too busy washing my hair to notice. Ha. Eat a dick, Minnesota.
That's fair today.
Thank you, Hobo. Appreciate that, buddy.
Thanks.
What, his Rays got 2 out of 3 from the Twins. The Bucks beat the Vikings. He's a happy guy.
Not a good couple of weeks for Minnesota sports.
No, but you know what? The Twins are... Well, I was going to say the Twins are doing well, but the Twins are winning a dog shit division. The Twins are winning a dog shit division and will go to the playoffs for that reason only. Thank you very much, Hobo. 280 away from knocking out today's goal, and every dollar we go over today is going towards the Redbeard contribution. So there is that. Let's begin because we've got about 10 more minutes on YouTube, and then we're going over to Rumble. Sean says Rumble is beating YouTube in viewers 3-1. Well, yeah, I mean, people are kind of used to just coming over to the Rumble portion on Friday. Ghislaine Ayers says Cousins changed my mind last night. He is really good. I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, last night him and our defense basically carried us to a one-score game.
He fumbled.
We couldn't close it.
He fumbled once too, and I understand you need better protection and strip sacks are a thing, but he contributed one to the great comedy of errors.
I almost felt last night a couple times like the Eagles were in practice this last week just training to strip balls. I just was like, they practiced that all week.
I have a player that we can sign.
Okay.
I'd like to play. Actually, you know what? I can't play this on Rumble because I'm pretty sure it's a WWE clip. Oh, you know what? We don't fucking need YouTube today, though, so they can take our video down. Here. This is a guy I think we can sign that I think will really help the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see if maybe I know he's not a defender.
Sure.
And I know he's not an offensive lineman, and that's where we need help. But the guy seems to have really good hands. Let's see.
One. Got it. Set.
Look at this guy. Oh, man. Oh, he's looking great. Look at this. And I hear this guy's a Minnesota kid. Now, he got a good arm. That's great. But he has one other talent that I think the Vikings should utilize. Look at that. He just chucked it up. He's got no receiver, April.
What's he going to do?
Yeah, he just chucked the length of the football field.
Yeah, it only arced like 4 times.
Yeah. Ran under the ball that he threw and then caught it.
Yeah.
That guy's really good.
Wow, can't wait to have him.
You know what? They say his name on the scouting sheet here is Kurt Hennig. However, I would call him Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, I think I need a new jersey.
Oh, man. Yeah.
He's not even here yet.
Oh, you know what? I'm being told he died in a hotel room about 20 years ago.
That sounds about right.
Shit. All right. Well, we had a
What,
chance.
did he throw himself too many drugs?
Just, yeah, he took a handful of pills, threw them up in the air, and then ran under them and caught them with his mouth.
I hope they were good ones.
Oh, it's always the good ones that kill you. Not the Father BG says, I can completely stop watching ROTC at this point. Why? There's no reason to do something like that. Sean says, I feel like I went to the past and watching the $6 Million Man. Well, yeah, I mean, you do have to go to the past for that guy because he's dead.
Another guy was wearing jeans on a football field. Can we just dress the part, too?
That is Vikings legendary tight end Steve Jordan, and you will show some goddamn respect.
No.
I'll tell you that. Toastmaster says, I heard a rumor last night about the New York Jets possibly trading for Cousins.
What a joke.
I mean, I'll say this.
That's a funny.
No,
that's funny though.
I mean, think about it. Let's say we go 0-3.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins' contract is up after this year.
Okay, and then what?
If we suck and we're no good, we're not going to re-sign him because we're not going to rebuild with a 36-year-old quarterback.
Sure, but who are we getting?
At least a first-round draft pick. Kirk's elite.
Okay, well, how are we going to finish what are we doing to finish this season? Just him and
we're 0-3.
We're just gonna
who
look
gives
at him
a
and be
shit?
like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy's just out now.
If you go 0-3, you're like, who gives a shit? If we don't beat the Chargers, no 0-3 team makes the
I'm
playoffs.
not frustrated enough to think about us being 0-3 yet.
You got the Chargers coming next.
It was anxiety producing watching that game last night, but that's where it stopped for me. I wasn't even angry. I was like a father. I was disappointed. I'm not ready to give up on my kid yet.
I'll tell you this: our kid just killed another kid at school with a gun, and we need to really think about maybe letting him go.
We can save him.
If we start 0-3, it's over. 0-2. Look, here's what you have to do at 0-2. I had us at 1-1 this point in the season. Now you got to beat the Chiefs or the 49ers.
Right, you have to do something.
That's
impressive.
not fun. You don't want to be in that spot. Aaron, I'm sorry, but I'm so sick of you thinking Kirk is good. He is absolutely terrible. He folds in every situation. How did he fold last night? He was the only reason we were in that game last night.
And the defense. But I would agree, like, the only reason you're even making that argument is because he gets absolutely destroyed by his O-line. Not even the other team's defense. It's his O-line. Kills him.
I believe he threw for, 3 or 4 touchdowns last night and 300 some odd yards and just dueled while his players literally and figuratively dropped the ball around him. He was awesome last week, too.
He slung awesome passes to players that would just drop his ball.
You pretty much got to be a Kirk hater at this point after the last few years. You've got to just be a blind Kirk hater to say, he's not very good. You just either you don't know football or you haven't been watching or you just blindly hate Kirk Cousins. But he's a top 10 pushing a top 5 quarterback, and he keeps you in every game no matter how shitty the rest of your team plays. So Sorry, I can't take you seriously if you don't think Kirk. You can not like Kirk Cousins. You can't think he's not good. Otherwise, I have to say, you've watched football your whole life and haven't learned anything. Stevie J says the test came back and it turns out your season has Down syndrome and severe autism. Aborting the season is the humane option. Hobo Chili Recipe says, did April say just like her dad, who is disappointed in her life choices? Sorry, I have swimmer's ear. I'm not hearing so well.
Yes, I absolutely.
Did you say your dad is...
Is that what I said? My dad's disappointed in my life choices.
Sir K says, I can't believe your host is such a disbeliever, Aaron. She should get a better attitude. Yeah, your stance on Mr. Perfect is troubling.
I'm sorry.
He's the answer. I guarantee. I was listening to ESPN and someone suggested trading Kirk Cousins for Zach Wilson and a second-round pick. I think that would be a horrible trade. Would need a first-round pick at least. Let's say we go 0-3.
We're not.
And the Jets said, we'll give you Wilson and a first for Cousins. I would consider it.
Well, you know what that means.
What?
We're getting one super hot lady coming to all our games.
That's right. We're going to have a big set of MILF tits coming to the Vikings game.
We've all got a chance just out of proximity.
Yeah, let me show you guys, Zach. Let's see who we're going to have at the Vikings games. If the Vikings get Zach Wilson over here. Look at that.
She's damn near cuter than he is, right?
In the huddle. You can, Justin Jefferson can look at Zach Wilson and goes, look, you don't hit me on this post route. I'm fucking your mom after the game.
And I co-sign that notion.
And I'm fucking the shit out of your mom, bro. That's all there is to it.
Okay, but then what can Zach say to Justin in case of him dropping said ball?
I'm going to frame you for a rape.
Of my mom.
No, because he would have, okay. Well, yeah, right. I was thinking he's framing him like he's doing the act. And that, so it wouldn't be his mom. Can't do that. Lil Derek says his salary is the reason we have no offensive line. I disagree. We have a lot of big salaries out there, but also there's a lot of teams with $30 and $40 million quarterbacks, and they can protect them.
Okay, if Kirk Cousins took a bit of a pay cut and still wanted to stay here for love of his team.
And he would.
And he totally would, I think. Couldn't we just, get him a little help?
Jack the Tripper says, I would be Zach's dad, no problem. There you go.
I'm your dad now.
Got a lot of people who want to be Zach Wilson's dad.
I am Zach Wilson's dad.
They want Zach Wilson in Minnesota. They just don't want him to play quarterback. That's all it is.
Right. They just want his mom here.
Yeah, just bring your mom here, and then everyone will be fine. All right, boys and girls, let's head over to Rumble. I want to start a show. I want to stop talking about football, which very few people care about. I want to start getting into our stories, and I don't feel like digging in while we're here sitting waiting for YouTube to get the fuck out. I think we actually might cut the YouTube time down to like maybe 10, 15 minutes.
It makes more sense.
On Rumble Friday,
because by 30 minutes, people are settling down.
Yeah, we got about 500 people checking in at 6:25 this morning, so let's send them all over to Rumble. And let's get up over 1,000. Let's get over 11. Let's break our all-time record of 1130. I want to break this slump of not hitting 1,000 lately, and I want to break this slump of the viewership being down. So I'm going to put on a good show today. April's going to put on a good show today. We're going to knock out our goal, which is at 280 right now. Streamlabs PayPal venue. Contribute a little something to the show. We do appreciate it. It's time to get uncensored. It's time to talk about vaccines and play naughty video clips and talk about disgusting stories over on Rumble. Join us there where we can be free. See you on Monday, YouTube.